Okay, Tony Mormino, AHR Expo Orlando 2025. I'm at the Miller Leaman booth with my good friend David Romeo. David,
Hey, Tony, nice to see you.
good to see you again. David's been a regular guest on the show, and we're going to talk about, I believe, a couple different products. One is going to be the Thompson Strainer,
Correct.
which probably most people are familiar with. Then we're going to talk about the Turbo Disc, which is a great visual display of removing stuff you don't want in the water from the water.
Exactly, yep.
So where do we want to start first?
Well, we're going to do like you said, the tour of filtration here. We're going to start off with the Thompson Strainer.
Okay.
We have a variety of different types of screen filters that are very unique for the industry.
Got it.
They have less than 1 PSI pressure drop, so they're easy retrofittable. You can put them on, the chilled water side, the cooling towers, incoming water, well water to remove any particulate with the screen filter.
And this right here is a couple of the Thompson Strainers.
There's a few of them right here.
So I'm going to go around the camera while you walk through these.
Sure.
I'll help you out.
This is a 6-inch strainer right here. We make them in 2-inch. We make them in 3-inch, 4-inch, 6-inch, 8-inch, 10-inch, 12-inch, and 14-inch. So any flow rate you have up to around 4,000 gallons per minute, we can handle with one unit with less than 1 PSI pressure drop. We also offer our differential pressure differential gauge, which is located right here. Let me use back. It's PLC based. It's going to monitor the inlet and outlet pressure differential with transducers. And then we also offer an automatic timer flush, which is on the flush port behind the unit. You see the flush port is located right here, but we also offer that with an automatic timer flush that can be tied into the pressure differential arm. And that's a stainless steel ball valve that's 1.5 inches. Our strainers are unique because they're conical in shape. If you think about a basket strainer, it's like this. Everything falls into the basket. Then what do you have to do? You have to dump the basket. Ours are unique. They're conical, so it's like this. You have the inlet at the bottom, and then the screen, of course, this is a 4-inch screen, would be sitting in a housing like this. The water would be coming up to the screen, being filtered out and down the exit, which is 180 degrees. The unique thing too is that we can custom build any of our units. So if you need the inlet and outlet on the same side, on the opposite side, 90 degrees, 40, 45 degrees, whatever you like, we can rotate our inlet and outlet locations as well as our flush ports, or even the pressure differential arms and automatic timer flushes. Okay, here's a good look at like a cutaway of the units, which is right here. This is a 3-inch, so you have 3-inch and 2-inch are bottom inlet. It comes up, hits the conical shaped screen, and of course you have your outlet, which is located over here. But if you can imagine the velocity of the water coming into a larger housing, that velocity slows down. So in turn, when the particles come in, they fall down to a reservoir where we can then connect that automatic timer flush to flush out the particles under flow, under pressure, which is also unique because then you don't have to bypass the unit or anything like that. So it's a very unique concept with the Thompson strainers.
Love it.
We have all different screen sizes, so you can look at anything from, all the way down to 25 micron using a wedge wire screen, 50 micron, or your standard 60, 80, 90 mesh or micron, whatever you would like.
That's great. Okay. I'm going to hand the camera over to Miss Sarah, and she's going to wheel us over. Here,
there you go.
Wheel it like that. Over to the other side of the booth. We're going to the other side of... Uh-oh.
Nope.
Uh-oh. Don't tell marketing. Don't tell marketing. I just broke it.
There you go. Just set it over there.
I think we can move it over here, right?
Yep.
I need to go to you.
That would help.
You can just it out.
Probably put
I'm going to just set it down.
There you go. You can probably put the camera on the back and you go through it. Or you want to
That'll
go
make the
side?
blooper reel. Where are we going? Over here?
Sure.
Look at Sarah. Look at what a good job she's doing with that camera.
Okay. Beautiful.
All right.
All right. Now we're at the turbo disc. There's a lot of different types of filtration out there. And with Miller Leaman, we just discussed the screen filters that we have. And we have disc filters. We also have sand filters, and we have ultra filters and RO membranes, if you like any of those. The beauty of the turbo disc is it's going to remove organics and non-organics. They're designed to be set up with like a pod format. So we have multiple pods for larger flow systems, or in
Let me
this
see if I can
case,
get a.
there you go.
What?
Sometimes we can get
Zoom it
a.
in, there you go. That's multiple pods.
There we go.
So higher flow rates, side stream, slipstream, or just full flow.
Very
And in this
popular with
case,
cooling towers.
extremely popular with the cooling towers, side stream, either taking it off the equalizer piping, filtering it, and putting it back through a sweeper system. I have a nozzle somewhere, but a sweeper system with a nozzle to keep the basin nice and clean. You can either do the equalizer piping or come out of the basin or coming out of a sump. And thank you, Tony. You just went and got the sweeper system, where then you can return it through a sweeper system that we can either design for you, or in a lot of cases, the cooling tower manufacturer will have a basin sweeping system that you can purchase with your cooling tower. The unique thing that we design, and what I would highly recommend, is this one has a K-ball. So as you can see, this is not stationary. I can move it around. I can go up or down in any direction, so I can move the water to clean the basin pretty easily. And it's also a Venturi effect. So if I'm pushing 7 gallons per minute in it, it captures some additional flow rate in the back, increasing that up to around 20 gallons per minute per nozzle. So it's very unique in the sense that it can really move a lot of water to keep your basin clean. Back to the turbo disc now. The turbo disc, again, is 3-dimensional filtration. And when I say 3-dimensional, I'm talking about surface area, like we have in the disc, and the depth of the disc. And the depth of the disc is very, very important, because that does a lot of the polishing. So you can probably see right here the depth of the disc. And the disc also has grooves on it that are crosshatched. So in the sense that the bottom of the disc filter, the grooves are going in this direction, the top are going in the opposite direction. So you don't have that least path of resistance where you have that in like sand filters that could channel, or during a back flushing, they could channel, and during filtration. So we prevent that by cross-hatching the disc. In this scene right here, you see, is that we bring the water in and we spin the water. And what that does is it keeps the heavier particles away from the disc stack, okay? Prolonging the backflush. So if I slow this down a little bit, you're gonna see a lot of the particles that we can keep in suspension away from the disc stack, okay? And then as the pressure differential builds, we use transducers. That's one way of backflushing for the differential pressure, a timer or manual override. The controller will keep track of why it's backflushing, when it's backflushing, how often it's backflushing. It'll tell you exactly when it's backflushing. Now in this case, we're just gonna backflush due to a manual override. So as you can see, we don't have much of a pressure differential. There is some particles that we keep in suspension. But when we backflush, what I want everybody to see is watch how we kick the water and the contaminants out, then our jet spray out into air, scouring, cleaning the disc, which is unique to our product. So right now I'm gonna set the controller on. You got that. Got this really good. And hit OK. You see it. Evacuate the water. The discs separate. And now we're back into filtration mode. This is a single pod air assist, so it does interrupt flow for 5 seconds. This system is designed up to 140 gallons per minute, only using 5 gallons of water to backflush. Now, we were showing you earlier the larger systems, and again, each pod on these systems only are going to use around 8 to 12 gallons of water to backflush. So in this case, this is a 2,000 gallon per minute system that Micron has in Manassas, Virginia. In this case, it's going to use roughly around 240 gallons total to backflush a 2,000 gallon per minute system, which is quite remarkable compared to looking at other types of filtration. The beauty of the turbo disc on the cooling towers too is that it keeps everything balanced, so it doesn't make it unbalanced, where if you're backflushing lots of water lots of times, then the chemistry makes it unbalanced because it can't keep up. With our system, since we backflush very little amount of water, only using a 2-inch drain on all the backflushing systems, it keeps it very balanced. So it's going to be a fighter against any of that Legionella that you could have out there. Chemistry and a disc filter work great against Legionella, where there's other types of filters you have to look out for because they do backflush a lot of water, or they're not removing the organics. This is going to basically remove the organics and use a lot less backflush water. That's our turbo disc. again, going back to the tour of our product line, if you have any opportunities for, if you would like sand filters, we offer those. You can also get ultrafiltration membranes and RO membranes with our products if you need those. All right.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, Tony. Appreciate your time like always.
Enjoy the rest of the show, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
Good job. Thank
Thanks. Yep.
Thanks.
you. did good.
It's a pleasure.
Good
Great
job.
to see you.
She's
Thanks
an
for your help.
expert, isn't she?
You did really good.